Welcome back to our online class. How are you all? We'll start our biology. Okay, soil pollution. Online class students are listening to me here, attentive, no? Bio class. Underground soil. Underground soil in cities is likely to be polluted by chemicals released by industrial waste. The industries, the chimneys which release it, decomposed and partially decomposed materials of sanitary waste. Many dangerous chemicals like cadmium, chromium, lead, arsenic, selenium products are likely to be deposited in the underground soil. Similarly, underground soil polluted by sanitary waste generates many harmful chemicals. These can damage the normal activities and ecological balance in the underground soil. The soil which has been underground means. Is it simple? Many chemicals are released. What are those? Cadmium, chromium, lead, arsenic, selenium. They get in the soil and disturb the soil. The roots are there in the soil, as I told you all in the class also, isn't it? So the plant will affect it. The animals eat this soil or something, whatever is thrown on it, the grass or leaves and all. Goat eats, cows eat, isn't it? So the soil also that grows in their mouth, and they give the chemicals go in their mouth and have toxic effects on them, harmful effects. Effects of soil pollution. Luckily, when the right atmospheric conditions arrive, air and water pollutations can get reduced to a great extent. If there is right atmosphere, the conditions which we are living, the atmosphere, air around us, the whole sky is clear, no pollution from cars, industries, agriculture, so automatically air and water pollutants will not be there. But in case of land pollution, all are interrelated: land pollution, soil pollution, isn't it? Air and water pollution also. But in case of land pollution, unless some removes the pollutants, soil can't be restored. Land that's polluted stays polluted. Land that's urbanized also invariably stay urbanized. As we know, plastics take hundreds of years to disappear, while radiations can contaminate land for 10 times longer. That means landfills, sites and radioactive waste dump remain that way pretty much indefinitely. Understand? So in that way, the plastic polythenes which we throw away, that all are causing pollution. It is increasing the pollution. The simplest effect of land pollution is that it takes land out of circulation. The more land we use up, the less we have remaining. Okay, the land gets polluted and the surrounding also get polluted. The animals get disturbed, even we get disturbed. If the land is polluted, soil is polluted, isn't it? We eat the same crops, the same vegetables, fruits which we get from the soil. That might not sound a problem when there is plenty of land in rural area, but it's certainly a concern where productive land, agricultural land is concerned, especially as world's population is going on increasing. Everyone knows, isn't it? Day by day it's going on increasing. So the soil is we are interacting with the soil, and it is getting polluted. The biggest problem comes when this contaminated land is returned to use, when we use it for growing crops, for moving, for on vehicles, those who those who go on their barefoot with their slippers and shoes. Soil pollution, they get interacted with the soil, the contaminants, the organisms stick to the shoes, to their land, to their feet and all, and they take the pollution with them, which causes a lot of germs in the body or microorganisms in the body. Got it? The biggest problem comes when contaminated land is returned to use, either for buildings are prepared on that area, or for agriculture. Houses might be built on brownfield, brownfield means what? Which was earlier an industrial land. Sites that haven't been cleaned up properly, putting future owners and their families at risk. We make start making house there, isn't it? So it is a risk for those people. The children there, what they live, they play in that soil, isn't it? Many of them earlier they didn't have all these video games and all. Children used to play with soil and they get contaminated. If the soil is dirty, polluted, they take the germs in their mouth, they wash with it, they play with that soil. Or people might get into water from rivers, they take it for cooking, they take bath in it, they take small animals in that, isn't it? Buffaloes and all, they wash that water. The pollution is going on, continuing, increasing. Supplied by groundwater, contaminated by landfill sites, mine working or otherwise polluted land some distance away. Illness such as cancer develop over years or decades for a variety of reasons, and it's extremely difficult to prove that. We cannot say cancer is just because of environmental pollution, especially when people move homes during their lifetime. No one knows how much land is contaminated. We cannot find out. We cannot clean it all the time. So much contamination is there nowadays. How contamination varies from one place to another, or how land contaminates reacts with one another once they enter the water resources and becomes water pollution. So the scale of problem and its ultimate effects are impossible to determine. However, we do know what effect individual pollutants have. We know, for example, that the lead is toxic heavy metal that has all kinds of unpleasant effects on human health. Lead is present in the pencil itself, the pencil which we write every day. Natraja, Apsara, Camlin, whatever pencil. Children take in them out, isn't it? Most of the small children, they suck it, they like just for fun. They are writing just take the pen in the mouth, their pencil in the mouth, most of the small children. It's been implicated in the development deficit. This growth of the children, intelligence of the children. We know that some chemicals are carcinogenic. Carcinogenic means what? This new term have come here. Carcinogenic means, children, cancer causing and other cause congenital defects such as heart disease. Congenital means a disease which is related to heart, whereas carcinogenic which causes cancer. Thus, effects of soil pollution are very vast, which can be summarized in 3 easy steps. We can briefly shorten and explain it. What are they? First one, hazardous chemicals which enter into the food chain from the soil. It causes disruption of biochemical process. Soil becomes infertile because of water logging and salinity. Toxic chemicals affect the plant growth and animal life. Agricultural, industrial and urban, we can see in 3 ways. Agricultural, what happens because of this pollution? It reduces the soil fertility, which is very important. It reduces nitrogen fixation, second. Got it? Next, which affects in a large number, is increasing erodibility, larger loss of soil and nutrients, deposition of silt in tanks and reservoirs. It reduces the crop yield. The results which were given by this crop every year, it gets reduced. So much amount of sugarcane, wheat will come every year. Because of this pollution, it will get less. Imbalance in soil, flora and fauna. What about industrial pollution? It brings dangerous chemicals which enters the underground water. Ecological imbalance takes place, release of poisonous and hazardous gases, the release of radioactive rays causing health problems. It increases salinity in the soil and it reduces vegetation. Urban is what? Clogging of drains, inundation of areas, the public health problems start, pollution of drinking water sources, the foul smell and release of dirty gases. Waste management problems are there. Environment, long-term effects of soil pollution. When it comes to the environment itself, the toll of contaminated soil is even more dire. It is more dangerous. Soil has been contaminated, should no longer be used to grow food, because the chemicals can leach into the food and harm the people who eat it. We definitely eat from the plants, isn't it? The vegetables, the fruits. So when the soil is polluted, the plant is growing in that soil. Roots are inside the soil. directly it is affecting the human beings and animals also, which eat leaves and all. If contaminated soil is used to grow food, the land will also produce lower yields, the production will be less, and if it is there also, it will be contaminated, harmful for us. This in turn can cause even more harm, because lack of plants on the soil will cause some more erosion, spreading the contaminants onto land that might not have been tainted before. In addition, what happens, the pollutants will change the makeup of soil and the types of microorganisms that live in it. If certain organisms die off in the area, the larger predator animals will also have to move away or die, because they have lost their food supply. Thus, it's possible for soil pollution to change the whole ecosystem. How can we control soil pollution? The following are the steps which helps us to control soil pollution. First, we should limit constructive. First, less fertilizers should be used and fewer pesticides. We should adopt 4 R's: reduce, recycle, recover, and recycle. These 4 R's, take the homework for today. First one, define soil pollution. Second one, chemical fertilizers are useful to crops. In which way they cause environmental pollution? Third question, describe environmental friendly methods to profitably dispose of human waste and cattle waste. What steps can be taken to reduce pollution due to particulate matter from industries? What is medical waste? Why is it so hazardous? Got it? What is the safe way to dispose of medical waste? The injections, the syringe, the cotton which we throw off, which is the safest way you think? Write down as a homework and send me by evening 5 o'clock. Okay, understood all of you? Thank you. See you in next class. Write homework neatly in your classwork books. Take the picture and send it. Very neat. All of you should send the work on time. Assalamu alaikum. See you in next class.